them. So I guess we can start. So before we start, I guess it is the perfect time to talk about something that we all are really caring about, right? So this which is like very close to our hearts, and that is like privacy in AI, right? I mean, so in the wake of the dawn of latest news that some tech companies are, I mean, we don't really know what they're doing, but it appears to us that as if there's some sort of data espionage. Um, so basically, my question, I mean, so to kick off this today's conference, I would like to ask you, what kind of techniques do we look on as professionals in this particular field, as engineers, as developers, as data scientists, researchers, so that we can sort of employ these techniques to preserve the privacy of the users? So a couple of things come to my mind, like differential privacy, federated learning. So folks, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can take a look. So I'd say, like, to begin with, how these companies are getting into the data espionage kind of a scenario is because we exactly are sharing our data, and by sharing, I mean, like, I'll define sharing in two words, like giving plus trust. We are putting trust in them that, hey, this is the interactions that we are going to make on your system, and uh, based on that, you can use whatever data you want to and build on top of it, right? So they are giving all of those services for free in return for the actions or inputs that we are giving by using those platforms, those services, or tools. All right. And it becomes mission critical for us to now understand the implications that it can have in our day-to-day lives when it comes to privacy preserving machine learning, right? And as data scientists, as researchers, as independent programmers, as folks contributing and shaping the foundations of what is there and what it is going to impact in near future, we need to definitely think upon the techniques that we should use or incorporate to make this happen. So yeah, I would like to talk about one of them being one of the ways in which people could attack or could get to your security and privacy of machine learning is by observing the training parameters, if not the actual data. So there are methods by which, if you have your models hosted entirely, you could hit those APIs, and you could, if you are publishing a model with all the trained parameters, you can reverse engineer the entire model architecture and get to understand why is a particular way, why is a particular input happening in a particular direction. So on that note, I would say the typical tools that one should employ, as you rightly mentioned, Abhin, are amongst federated learning, differential privacy. One of the other key things that we typically take care of is like encryption. Primarily, there are and have been methods by which we can encrypt the training data. We can train on the encrypted data, as well as whenever the inputs are coming in, we can perform predictions on the form of an encrypted data, kind of a thing. So that's one thing that I would say is key, that can prevent any hackers, any reverse decryption techniques to go away, and this homomorphic encryption is taking the taking the norm. And then there is also another method that we typically employ at shipments also is a concept called trusted execution environments. So with that, I mean being able to deploy machine learning models at scale in the environments that we are typically aware that they can be trusted on, with the model hosting capabilities, the model serving capabilities. So having such cloud providers, even that trusted environment can be on your own, but having such things can help. So one I would say is encryption. The other one I'd say is TEs that have taken the fight. I'll talk in more. I would like to hear more of your thoughts also by then.
Okay. First of all, yeah. Thanks, Sabaga. He has already talked about a lot of different things, but I like to start with from understand from where the data is coming. Like there's a different form of data, and the thing is how the data companies are capturing is totally different. There are implicit ways of capturing the data. There are explicit way where they capture the data, where user provide the details about what might be the details about them or what their interest lies in. Like we see the surveys or the explicit way of getting the ratings, and there are different ways we get that. And there are some ways that implicitly where you are in that their system, they capture a lot of things which we do not know even about, like, or we are not even aware about that they are even monitoring that kind of level of things. Like we have seen these things in apps. Like nowadays we have how the Google marketing and Facebook marketing, everything we see around that is being revolved about how implicit way of they are tracking us to the levels where they can have a better access about us. They know us in many ways. So it's becoming a crucial for privacy, especially the privacy in the technology part where the machine learning and AI is taking a decision on the behalf of the human. So human is not taking a decision, right? It's a very crucial part. And especially as I talk about, I've been closely working in a lot of healthcare and edtech startups. So healthcare is a very crucial field where a lot of information is there, which is very crucial for the public. And in a way, you cannot be like you cannot take a risk of even losing a single piece of information on that front. And each uh, data point is very crucial in that term. So as you talk about the technologies which we are going to use, is one of the biggest is the federated learning itself. Where we are not taking the model, we are not taking the data and here and there in the systems, because if you look at how the workflows is, right? You just think right now if you're just going for a COVID test or maybe any kind of normal test you are going, and maybe at the advanced level like MRI scan or those kinds of. If you are going at different locations, the data could be residing in 10 different radiology, 10 different hospitals out there, right? And if you try to use it from a central location, especially in India right now, maybe with US and UK, they have maybe better infrastructure in the way they handle this data, but still India needs to have a kind of better centralized way. So we can't create a kind of thing where every like new startup wants to get this data and everyone will try to get the data into their system, right? So it's a very risky job. So the better way is that one of the best technology I think is federated learning, where you take the ownership of your whatever the model is there, you get those model out there and there gets trained on their in-house data, and then you get the inference out of it. Obviously you will have to trade off between the kind of accuracy and the precision you're getting, but in the overall you'll be longer and you'll be able to make it kind of a more, you can say, robust way of working. Otherwise, it would be a very issue. And one another technology or the way we use is more like a consent management. Like whenever you're taking a data, like how we have this consent. But in healthcare, it's very crucial to get the consent from the patients, whatever data you are going to access it. Especially with the hospitals, also they take the consent that okay, what kind of data is there and how much information it's going to be used. So all those things are very crucial, and this data is also now the social media platforms also have a similar kind of data which do have some amount of information about your health related issues or maybe your very personal issues. So in a way people can use those data, and it happens sometimes for even for the interest of some just marketing and just the product selling. There are a lot of platforms where the data is distributed. So it's a very difficult task to put first of all the privacy. But yeah, I think we are moving into the good direction where we are talking about fair AI and privacy part, and the technologies where we are very much focusing on the data part, not only on the like creating models and only AI application. Data part is becoming more crucial.
Okay, that's really cool. So for folks who were wondering, hey man, what is federated learning? So let me give a very brief introduction. What federated learning is. So the classical machine learning. So far, I mean, most of the part, what companies do is that if I'm the user and there's a data scientist in the company, so the data scientist will require my data to operate on, right? So to predict and do some analysis. So they would require, so they will take the data from me, from your phones, from your devices, whatever it is. The data will go to the server, and the data scientist will sort of work on the data and will try to make will try to do analysis and try to make predictions, and will give back the the updated model. But in federated learning, it's actually quite the opposite. So we know for machine learning for machines to learn, it really doesn't matter where do you, all that really matters is the union of the data and the model. So instead of pulling the data from your device to the server, the data in federated learning, the data will remain in your device. The model from the server will be downloaded onto your device. All the updates will be done, and a focused update will go back to the server, and from where the data scientists can do analysis and do some prediction and make the model better. So that way, data never leaves your device. So that way, your data stays with you, my data stays with me. So that was federated learning, and to be honest, it's like one of the emerging things in machine learning, which I'm really excited about, personally at least. So I guess, and it was really cool. To know your thoughts on. You mentioned homomorphic encryption. Also, it's definitely one of the things that can change. The way we currently work.